Hey, what's up guys? Elite Drago here today, bringing you a Kozmo deck profile. Cosmos have not been around for a while, at least I haven't seen them. And I'm just here today just to show you my build and what I like to do with it. So, here we go. There are some things I do run in here that are kind of like not really normal per se, but first up I do run the 3 Kozmo Dark Planet. Sorry, I should put it there. Basically how you sum this guy out is you need basically 2 monsters who equal his level or higher. Usually what I do with him is if I have 2 copies of him, I'll just banish the 1 copy so I can special summon him. And he's the only way, this is the only way he can be special summoned. So he can't be special summoned other ways, except for by his own effect. And basically with him, if you have Cosmos in your graveyard, you could just banish them if you need to negate the activation of a spell card. So he is kind of like your heavy beater of the deck, and he is also your spell negation of the deck. Oh yeah, and also when he's destroyed, you also add 1 level 9 Cosmo monster from your deck to your hand. The other Cosmos, when you float down into different ones, you actually float down in a way where they're summoned to the field. So like the level 9 Cosmo, the Kozmo Dark Eclipse, where Eclipse her. Basically, this is your negation for traps. So yet again, if you have Cosmos in your graveyard, you could just banish 1 to negate the activation of a normal trap card. Basically, also when he's destroyed, you I believe you add a level 8 or lower Cosmo directly from your deck to your hand, and then once you get from 8 or lower, they summon right to the field. So 10 and 9 only add to your hand, and 8 and lower summon right to your field. So I got 3 Destroyer, Kozmo Destroyer, or Dark Destroyer. So basically with this guy, when you summon him out, you just basically just pop a card on the field, and then when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, he summons a level 7 or lower directly from the deck. So with this, it kind of reminds me of Star Wars, and it really is based off of Star Wars, because the Dark Planet is kind of like the Death Star in Star Wars. So it's pretty cool. I never really liked the movies themselves, but I do like the concept of it. So I do run 3 Front Runner. Sorry about that. With Front Runner, when he's on your field, every standby phase, you actually gain 1,000, basically 1,000 life points per standby phase. So basically, I just run multiple of him just because the field spell, you do have to pay life points to return monsters from the out of play to your hand. So I just use him just to kind of utilize maintaining life point count. Oh yeah, and also when he's destroyed, he does level 6 or lower, and that is summoned right to the field. Next up, I do run 2 Landwalker. Landwalker is your field spell protection. So basically any card that would be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can pick what's destroyed and what's not destroyed. So it kind of just helps, keep your field spell in the field, and basically any other monsters that you want to keep on the field as well. Oh, and yet again, when he is destroyed, he does a level 5 or lower, and that's directly to the field. And usually what I do when he's destroyed is I get out my Dark Lady. And with Dark Lady, she is your monster effect negator. basically that's all she's really for at that point. Um, Unfortunately, when she is destroyed, she does level 6 or higher, and but you add it to your hand. So with her, you can't really float down with her. So that's why I do run other level 5 Kozmo monsters in the deck. And the other level 5 that I run is the, what you call it, Ship Rider. Kozmo Ship Rider. Sorry about that. Let's fix this here. You guys see that better. There you go. So yeah, basically he is your spell and trap popper of the deck. When he's normal or special summoned, target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. And it is one of those effects where I believe it is a requirement. It doesn't say you can. It's just basically when he's summoned, you have to. Oh, actually, it does say you can. I'm sorry about that. It does. I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't used the deck in forever. So, yeah, so just spell and trap card destruction of the deck. And then when he's destroyed, he does float down into the level 4s of the deck, which I'm going to get into right now. So I do run 2 Wicked Witch, and yes, I'm sorry, only one is hollow. I could not find my other hollows. I came across a common one, so I just threw that in there just for kind of like filler until I find my other hollow one. Basically what she does is she can protect herself by paying 1,000 life points, and she cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. So you just do that just if you need to buy time to get other things back to your hand from out of play, or if you're trying to just search things, from your deck to your hand. It just helps you buy time. Okay, and I also run the 2 Good Witch, just for a little bit of trolliness. If I want to get over a monster, I just basically pay 500 with her effect, flip the monster face down, and of course if the defense is like low enough, I could just attack over her, or I can basically kind of just like tag out, banish her, and summon another Kozmo level 5 or higher from my hand. Alright, now one of the best cards in the deck, Kozmo Farm Girl. And basically what she does is, when she inflicts battle damage, you can add 1 Kozmo card directly from your deck to your hand. And how you can actually utilize her is, I do have the Moon Mirror Shield equip card. And basically what that does is, when you equip it to her, it goes by whatever the strongest monster on the field is, and it always puts her at 100 attack higher, so that you don't have trouble, attacking over a lot of stuff. And I believe that is right, the Moon Mirror Shield. I believe that is the name of the card. I can get into it later once I bring out my spell cards. So the only one of the one-ofs that I run for Kozmos is the Strawman. Unfortunately, I only own 1. I must have got rid of them a while ago, but right now, really 1. It's not really dire for you to have 2. I prefer it to be at 2, just for consistency of the deck. But basically, what this guy does is he has 2 effects. You can either pay 500 to bring a Kozmo from your out of play back to the field, but its effect is negated. And its second effect is basically you can tag it out or banish it for a Kozmo level 3 or higher from your hand to the field. So this helps bring out Farm Girl and anything else basically higher than 2. So it always goes by anything higher than its own stars, and that's how all the Kozmos work. And then that at least the pilots, and then the ships also they just do anything lower than their current level. So what this guy doing downside is not really a downside, but in some people's eyes it could be a downside, is that if you banish him from play for his second effect, the monster that you originally brought out is destroyed by his card effect. And usually at that point, you just banish it off of their own effect, because when they're destroyed and they hit the grave, their effect is no longer negated. So you could just summon out another Kozmo. So it kind of just helps like comboing, you know. So, and my last Kozmo of the deck that I run is the 310 can. Basically, you're another searcher of the deck. A little bit more kind of like an upfront searcher. All you do is just pay 5. You select 3 cards in your deck that are Kozmo cards, and your opponent picks one at random, and then whatever one he picks at random, you add that copy to your hand, and then the other 2 copies go to the graveyard. So, and you can do it during either player's turn, which is pretty cool. Like during the end phase of either player's turn, basically is when his effect is really utilized. And basically, also with him, he does level 2 or higher for his banish effect, and when you summon a Kozmo. So, and then the good thing is with his effect, you can actually chain his 2 effects together. So you could pay your 5, and reveal your 3, and then of course shuffle, and your opponent would pick at random. But at that point, your opponent would try to like negate his effect, and he's on the field. And basically, if it's one of those negations at target, so you could just be like, okay, well, I'll chain his second effect, banish, and to summon another Kozmo directly from my hand, and then the first effect will still resolve because he's no longer on the field. And my last one is, of course, the Cyber Dragon. Basically just used for the, of course, the one extra deck monster that I use, which is the Chimeratech Fortress. Basically just in case I come up against any other machine decks or anything like that, or if I'm just in a bind and I need a high power attack monster on the field. That's always the reason why you even run it. I mean, it's machines. I mean, come on. So I'm going to get into the spells of the deck. First up, 3 Cosmotown. Definitely really love this card because it helps you utilize your out of play cards very sufficiently, and it also kind of helps revamp your hand a little bit. It's kind of like a magical mallet, where it lets you put a certain amount of cards, Cosmo cards, back into your deck, and then you literally draw the same amount if you kind of have a dead hand. And also, you can, if you have Cosmos out of play, you can pay life points equal to their level, and then that's how much you pay. So they have, if they're 10 stars, you pay 1,000, and then so on and so forth. So, and also when this card's destroyed, you can actually just search 1 Cosmo card from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher. It's basically a magical mallet of the deck, and it's kind of like a different dimension of the deck. Okay, next up, we're on 3 Allure. Nothing really to explain there. Everything's basically dark in the deck. And the good thing is you guys should really abuse this, especially Cosmos. Because if you banish, Cosmo that you don't want to banish, and you have the field spell to fill, okay, I'll banish that, and then just with this, with this effect, and then with the Cosmotown, you just basically just bring it right back to your hand. Of course, you gotta pay life points, but it's worth it. Okay, yep, and I was right about the name of this card, the Moon Mirror Shield. Like I said, when you clip this card onto a monster, it always makes the current monster that's equipped with it 100 attack higher than the strongest monster on the field. So this will really help you guys kind of just really abuse the the farm girl effect. You can attack and inflict damage because you're 100 higher. Yeah, it's only 100 points of damage, but you get the searcher card, And I believe you do pay 500. You know, you inflict damage. I believe you inflict damage, and then you pay 5 for the farm girl effect, and then you just search literally any Kozmo card that you need directly from your deck to your hand. Alright, next up, just in case I have a match where I'm stalling a lot, I basically wave motion cannon. I would have ran 3, but I can only find 2. So I just have to be able to just run with what I have at that point. I mean, if nobody knows what this does, wave motion cannon. Each turn, you get a counter, and however many counters that you have, basically you inflict 1,000 per counter when you basically send this card to the graveyard. All right, and basically to help abuse your out of play aspect of the deck, DDR. So you just discard a card and bring back the monster from out of play. Simple as that. Alright, and I do run 2 Ledger of Legacy? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't really see that name. I'm just going to say Ledger. I run 2 Ledger. Basically what this card does is you banish 3 cards from top of your deck, face down, and then of course on the 3rd standby phase after this card activation, you add all 3 cards to your hand, and of course you can only activate 1 Ledger per turn and only once that turn. Alright, my last spell of the deck, I do run 1 limit removal. Basically just for OTKs. If I get my setup on the field and my opponent can't really do much, I'll just do this. Just double the attack of all machines. So usually with at that point, if I am able to clear your field and I have this in my hand, usually what I'll do is I'll just summon out Chimera attack and then basically just double that attack and then just try to go for a game at that point. That's only if you're clear and your opponent really can't do much else. Usually your other option is just to have basically just flood your field with your ships and basically just use this and just try to go for an OTK, because your Dark Planet would take care of the spells, your Eclipser takes care of your traps for trap negation, and your Dark Lady would take care of monster effects. So yeah, so at that point you would just do that. The Eclipser would be 6k and the Dark Planet would be 8k. So with just those two, it's literally more than enough damage. You're just doing that. It kind of just helps secure your victory. Alright, and traps to the deck. I do run 2 Kozmo Joe. Really helps get around problem cards. This is a banishing card, but it does not target. So the only time it targets is if you're targeting your own Kozmo. So you target your own Kozmo and then destroy it, and then if you do, you just basically you're forcing your opponent to banish one of their own cards, because it just says banish 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. So basically you're forcing your opponent to banish one of their own cards. So basically you're saying, hey, look, you have to banish your own card, and I'm not targeting it, it's just removed from play. So this really helps get around cards like Chaos Max, anything that just cannot be targeted by card effects. You're just saying, hey, I'm not targeting you, I'm just banishing you. You're basically targeting your own card, because it's like, okay, I target mine, and then you have to target one of yours to banish. So basically saying you can't be targeted by your opponent's card effect, not by your own. So technically it's like when you activate this card, this second effect becomes the second part of the effect becomes your opponent's card effect. It's kind of weird to explain, but it's just like it. Simple to simplify it, the card doesn't target. The only time it targets is when you're targeting your own monster. So, the last card of the deck, I do run 2 Solemn Strikes, just in case things get out of hand, and I don't like what you're doing, so I'm not going to let you establish board. I'm just going to negate your summons there, and you know, yep, just negate your summons, and then also your monster effect. You have to try to add a monster effect that would special something else. This also negates monster effects as well. So if I can't negate with the Dark Lady, and you get over that, or try to get over that by negating my Dark Lady with another monster effect, I'll just activate this, pay my 15, and call it a day. Alright, and like I said, I do run the 1 Chimera Tech. It is the only extra deck monster that I run. This deck does not utilize extra deck really at all. If there's any other suggestions that you guys can make for me to run in the extra deck, then I'm open for suggestions at that point. But yeah, I just basically just use them for Cyber Dragon if I'm trying to go for OTK, or even if I'm mirror matching. If I'm mirror matching, you get the better of me, and you have a full filled machines, and I have Cyber Dragon. Guess what, buddy? GG. At that point. But yep, that is my deck profile for Kozmo 2020. And at that point, like I say in every video, I'm going to go back to the real world and live life the best I can. And with that said, I'll see you guys on the next one.